It is another Tuesday night, and we are here with Turnbuckle Studios and the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk. I am Carl Carafell. I'm joined alongside Chris Best and OMD for this broadcast here tonight. We have what OMD had considered a slow news day, but Mr. Best considered quite a bit of news. Yeah, you see that both of you were able to find some really, really good stories on things here. For myself, the first thing that I want to say, that I want to get out, that I want to do before anything else is say, we are with you and our thoughts are with you, Jim Ross. So Jim Ross, if you have not heard as of yet, has been diagnosed with colon cancer. Surgery is being scheduled within the next week or two, he says. But I wanted to make sure that we put that out there that, yes, we see that, we recognize that, and our thoughts are with Jim Ross. One other thing that I want to get out of the way is something that Mr. Joe Galley had actually posted out there. And this, for me, is pretty interesting because I know that there are a lot of people who don't subscribe to television services anymore, but do have a Fire Stick or Roku. Now, it has come to light that the NWA and Women of Wrestling are going to be headed over to the streaming channel with Roku, and they're going to be going over to the Wrestling Central channel with Roku, and I think that that is absolutely fantastic. It's going to be another way for us to be able to catch some Women of Wrestling as well as NWA Wrestling. It is a ad-supported free Roku channel that is in the US and Canada. It's not going to be all of the current stuff, but it is going to give us a good back catalog of what they have done. I'm very excited about this. See nothing but positiveness come from this.
I mean, you mentioned Fire Stick, and now makes me want to switch over to my Fire Stick and find it myself there. And where there's a will, there's a way. I will find it.
Well, it is going to be part of the Roku channels. So as long as you have the Roku TV service, right, downloaded onto your Fire Stick, I don't see why you wouldn't get this.
Oh, I'm going to definitely look for it.
Oh, for sure. OMD is coughing into his microphone. Does that mean that he's got something to say?
No, it was just a cough that came up.
Since getting my Fire Stick, my wrestling repertoire for watching has expanded greatly. Just going to put that out there.
Yeah, these are awesome channels. So Paramount Global Content Distribution is soon launching. So it's not available just yet. They are soon launching an all wrestling channel called Wrestling Central. So yeah, 100% be on the lookout for that. Premiering exclusively on the Roku channel with just those two, Women of Wrestling and the NWA. Those are the only two that are going to be showcased on there as of right now. It's going to include stuff all the way back from Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Funk days and through.
Wow.
So now that you mentioned classic, because in my head, I'm like, Women of Wrestling, are we going to see like old school Ivory matches? Because we all know that's where she came from.
Right.
And you mentioning that just got me even more excited because I love watching Ivory. So,
right. It brings back the days where I miss having ESPN Classic Canada and getting that AWA, NWA, all of that old school wrestling.
And for me, that's old school Fight Network. I loved watching, like waking up in the morning, specifically every morning, 10 a.m. Memphis Wrestling they had.
Yeah. Trev, good to see you, brother. Thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic, right? I mean, just so that we can get another wrestling product out there to people who, again, a lot of people don't have, television service nowadays, but they're using the free services. And the free services are like the Roku channels. So this will be included for them. And maybe this will, catch some little kid's eye and go, hey, I like what I see. And then maybe they'll go and find some more.
Yeah, and there's other services out there where you can catch free wrestling. There's free wrestling on Tubi right now. There's actually a collection of pre-AWA Shawn Michaels matches.
Oh, nice.
That's on there. Pre-AWA. I'm talking like when he was a rookie. And even then, you could see how much of a star he was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And I mean,
good then.
We have the TNA channel, of course, on Pluto TV.
Yep. Yep. Pluto is there as well. Plex TV is another one.
Yeah.
That offers a little bit as well.
Yeah, really? Plex also carries the TNA channels as well.
Yeah.
How's it going, Bubba?
So no matter which one you guys are using, there is some professional wrestling that is there and available. Borjnesh with Bubba Duke coming in. Good to see you, brother. Thank you so much. What story do you guys want to start out with here tonight?
You know what? Just because it's fresh in my head and I literally just watched the video before we came live, I want to talk about one of our current WWE stars in one, Damian Priest, who's been inducted. He's been inducted into the Bronx Walk of Fame. This is a list of names that includes guys like Luther Vandross. Several NBA players have been listed there. This is a huge honor for Damian Priest, who grew up in the Bronx, whose Latino heritage stems from the Bronx. The Bronx is known for having a massive Latino, what's that word I'm looking for? Population.
Yeah.
To me, this is a big deal for him, and I know that this is a big deal for him and he knows that this is a big deal for him. So I just got to say congratulations to Damian on this one.
100%. I mean, this is huge. I mean, this is for wrestling, and for Damian, this is the equivalent to the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
And he's the first professional wrestler to be inducted into the Bronx Walk of Fame as well.
Wow. That is fantastic. And, with all of the Hispanics spread throughout wrestling, and I'm not just talking Mexico, not just WWE, but throughout the world of wrestling, this is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Trev is right. Wrestling kicks butt.
Yeah.
That's why we talk about it on a weekly basis. Oh, yes.
I sometimes feel like it's a minute-by-minute basis.
Sometimes. For sure, sometimes it is. It's very interesting, the words that Damian Priest had for this. I'm just going to quote what he says here. It says, "I've said it since I started in the WWE that I just wanted my name to live forever. I just want to do something and do things for that people remember me by, and getting this honor, it's kind of like, wait, did I just achieve that?" Simple words, but I think beautifully sum up everything that is here, because his name will now, and I hope forever, be shown on that walk of fame for those that come from the borough, that come from the Bronx. Absolutely fantastic for him. This is something that I hope the WWE shines a little bit of a light on as well. I hope that they take this opportunity to put onto their program something about this, right? Because this is not only huge for Damian Priest, but it's huge, like you said, for him to be the first WWE star. I believe you said the first pro wrestler to be on this Walk of Fame. That's huge.
Yes, 100%. I mean, you look at other guys like Taz, who came from Red Hook, and the legacy he carved, and he's not there yet.
Right?
Because Red Hook's not part of the Bronx.
No.
But no, this is even in the video, Damian Priest mentions like how he's walked up and down that Walk of Fame and how he's just kind of wished that his name was there. Now his name will be immortalized there forever, as Carl and I are hoping, and OMD as well. His name will be immortalized forever, and it's going to make people like maybe who don't watch wrestling but see his name there and go on that Google machine to find out who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, from our Walk of Fame, I have done that with some of the people that are on our Walk of Fame.
Oh, definitely. Definitely, for sure. And just to solidify it a little bit more, we're talking about people from the Bronx. Damian Priest grew up in different neighborhoods inside of the Bronx, and some of those include Parkchester and Castle Hill. So two places within the Bronx that this man grew up in being now immortalized.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what was interesting about that video was we got a bit of a dive into Priest's personal life, and that's something that I've never really, paid attention to as far as he goes. Like, I've been a big fan of his since Ring of Honor when he was Punishment Martinez.
Right.
I'm now interested in wanting to know more about the man behind Damian Priest because of this video.
Right.
As it should be. As it definitely should be. And I think that that's a really great way for people to kind of find out more about these people and do their own little digging in deeper, right? And you never know what you're going to find when you're digging deeper into somebody that you've kind of looked up to or that you admire for what they do. And then to find out those, little facts about them, something that may be a little bit different. It's just nice. It's just nice.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. OMD. What kind of news did you have?
I want to touch on something a little different. And this is something, again, has to do with being immortalized. And this has to do with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Okay.
Or even better, let's go back. Kevin Steen and El Generico. Kevin Owens has endorsed a non-WWE book on his career with Sami Zayn. And what's happened here is because their history stretches so far back beyond just WWE, as we all know.
Yeah.
Somebody, it inspired Aichi Shikotoku, a university professor, J.J. McGee, to write a book about the two entitled Fight Forever, The Ballad of Kevin and Sami. Owens has personally commented on the book in a clip posted on social media where he explains why he recommends it to fans. He praised McGee and gave her X account a shout out, praising her both as a writer and a fan. Sami and I obviously go way back before WWE. And, for the last 20 years, we've worked together and tried to do things with little details and intricacies thrown in and wonder, hopefully, if somebody catches it, he said, through the years, I've read her analysis of our work and various, matches, promos, all kinds of stuff. And she just understands what we do better than anyone. Urging fans of both his and Sami to get their hands on the book And once again, praising the author for putting their story together. Saying, I will be able to look back on this in my 70s and 80s, and just to be able to, look back at all these years fondly.
Yeah, so that's huge to be able to have such an honor as somebody who is so invested, as we were talking about earlier with Damian Priest, right? Kind of invested in who the person is or who the people are in this case, to have someone write this book about these two people specifically, and even better, two Canadian people on top of that. Faden, thank you so much for the article from Wrestling Inc. We really appreciate that. And being able to use your words as well on our broadcast.
Yeah. This is something that I'm very interested in reading, and payday's Friday, and I may have to put an order out on the book. And it interests me because every time that we've heard the stories about how their wars have come to be in ROH, I'm interested in like the backstage stories, and I kind of want to see if that's where she touches on in this book. I want to see like how this all came to be. I'd like to even see if she has words from other people who helped put these feuds together. And I know Kevin and Sammy pretty much had almost all say in their feuds.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're probably not going to see any words from this gentleman, but I'm actually intrigued to see Jim Cornette's words on this situation, on this feud, because he was there for the majority of their feuds.
So coming from the author, the book is available on Amazon. And it says here, in Fight Forever, the Ballad of Kevin and Sammy, she's exploring a partnership unlike any other. The saga of two men who fought their way from high school gyms to the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania without losing touch with who they are. It is an in-depth, it says every chapter of this history will focus in depth on one match, the fictional story leading up to and away from it, and some of the real events connected to it. As we move from one match to the next, you'll hear about the triumphs and losses, the disasters and miracles, the heroes and villains, both in the fiction and in reality, and follow along as the two men at the center of the story grapple with the defining question of both the characters and the real people's lives. And that question being, can we succeed together, or are we stronger apart? So there you go. That is what the book is. It is fiction and a little nonfiction as well, kind of going through and telling a story, match by match.
Again, I'm still intrigued. I still kind of want to read this.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Definitely.
100%.
And if you have joined us and are watching us here with this broadcast, you can see right now, just over there, the cover for the book, where it's not quite Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, but it has a very strong resemblance to the two of them. The only thing that I wish that maybe would have happened with this cover art, and it's something that just it irks me all across the board for a number of different things, is it talks about the Ballad of Kevin and Sammy, but yet the picture, for those that are fans of professional wrestling, you can see that it is Sammy and Kevin against the ropes. If that were just reversed, that photo, it would have been a little more cohesive to me, because then we would have Kevin and Sammy. In this world, we read, right? Like we read from left to right. Mm-hmm. And I read from left to right. And I read Kevin and look at the person close, and then Sammy, and then look at, and it just doesn't match. But
Right.
I digress. That's just a stupid little personal thing. Whatever. Yeah.
But and at the same time, I actually do distinctly remember the similar pose, but with Kevin actually choking Sammy. I do remember seeing a shot like that. Maybe it was an ROH or something like that, but I definitely remember seeing something like that with Kevin Owens doing that to Sammy.
They've been doing that back and forth all the time.
Yeah. We've seen it for the last 20 years, as I said, whether it was Kevin Steen and El Generico or Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yeah. So yeah, there we have it. Fight Forever. The Ballad of Kevin and Sammy, which is definitely something that has been cheered for these two many, many times when they have had matchups together. I'm very, very happy about this, and I'm interested to see who else kind of goes out and endorses this. I can say that there already has been another endorsement from, professional wrestler Big E. He has endorsed it as well. So I definitely want to take a look a little further into it, and I think it'll be pretty cool to take a look at this book. I'm excited for it for sure. Something that we all can be excited about, I think. A Joe Clark film that's going to be coming out. A Joe Clark film produced by a name that I didn't think I would ever see as producer, but it's totally understanding. Rob Van Dam serving as producer on this for a new documentary chronicling Sabu's final match that's set to be released soon. Simply going to be titled Sabu. That's it. I love it. Don't need anything more than that. A release date has not been announced yet, but it's just shown as coming soon. But it will debut in 2025. There is a teaser trailer that is out there and available on YouTube, so you can go and take a look at that. Guys, so I'm assuming that this is something that was already being done, already in the works before his passing. I wish that he could see this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we all do. And this is just another case of truly immortalizing somebody who deserves it.
Yeah.
Now it is possible that Sabu probably did see the documentary before his passing, because usually when we see a trailer release, the film has already been completed and put together. So he may have gotten a private screening before he passed on.
Maybe. But it was only, 3 weeks after his final match?
Yeah.
So they may not have had the time to get all of that done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
or maybe they did. I hope they did. And that they were able to show him. Yeah, and that we're getting a little bit of a later release, because maybe now they're going to include at the end something about, his passing, and then, kind of play a little bit with that. Not play with. That's immortalize that as well. Right? Maybe allow some people to come in and talk and whatever. You know what I mean?
And I mean, if this is building up to what was his last match, I'm hoping that there is, more in depth overall on his career for the casual fans who don't know Sabu the way we know Sabu.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what we saw in that last match was not the Sabu that we know and love.
True.
Well, I mean, Sabu is, I mean, he was in his 60s when he did that match. So kind of can't expect to see what we saw at a Sabu 20 years ago versus what we saw at a Sabu in that match.
Yeah.
Right.
But I will give credit to Sabu, like right up until like his passing, the guy was Mr. No Days Off with wrestling.
Oh yeah.
He just had that bug in him, you know, and he couldn't shake the bug.
Which goes the same for a lot of people, to be honest. Like there's so many that, you know, just they still have that bug.
Yeah.
It's definitely there.
Now, what I'm hoping for in this documentary, because it is his last match, and his last match was against Joey Janela. I'm hoping to hear some words out of Joey Janela for this in this documentary as well.
Oh, there definitely has to be. Like, yeah. Even
I was going to say the people who booked the show, but it was Joey Janela's show, so
exactly. Yeah. I was going to wait for a little bit longer, but since we're already here, Sabu, we still love you. And we thank you very much for what you gave to us. Now, this may not be necessarily part of the world of wrestling per se, but somebody that a lot of people liked. Person that played in a lot of different movies, television shows, from Heart to Heart, Soap, Taxi, MASH, even films like The Bodyguard, Jekyll and Hyde, Together Again, Airplane 2, but most notably known on Cheers, George Wendt, who played Norm Peterson, has passed away at the age of 76.
That hurts.
Yep.
That hurts.
Now, I don't know if there's, right?
I loved him. Especially with his unexpected appearance in the Michael Jackson music video for Black or White, where he plays Macaulay Culkin's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing him in that role versus what he did in Cheers. Okay, so in that role, he was the ticked off, annoyed dad, whereas in Cheers, he was this carefree drunk. We'll put it that way.
Yep.
So the dude was a chameleon as far as actors go. He could take on any role and run with it.
Yes.
Yeah. So just because we were on, something that was already kind of a good but a down at the same point, I just wanted to make sure that we put that out there and mention that because, an actor who played a lot of roles and touched a lot of hearts and was pretty well liked by a lot of people.
Yeah.
As unfortunately left us.
Yep.
Something that left us as well. It's comical. Yes, it definitely is. Something that left us was AEW Collision. The last half hour. Anyways, just gone. Completely gone. As of right now, there's no version of Saturday's Collision that's available to stream on Max that we've seen so far. There's no other platform that it is on as of right now that we have been able to see. That was as of yesterday that there's no other platform. What happened? Anybody know?
The only thing I can think of is somebody in the production truck screwed up.
Yeah, it was available on TNT West for the later broadcast after the show.
No, it wasn't. None of it was. It says here it was initially supposed to play on the West Coast feed later on Saturday, but the issues still had not been fixed.
Oh wow! And I know we've all heard it that a lot of people blame The Rock, saying he told them to cut it so that they could play his movie that still nobody has seen. Now we all know that that's a farce and that's a parody.
I blame William Regal.
Okay.
If you remember that ending of Raw where he said cut the broadcast,
yeah,
that's where I went to thinking of this.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, yeah. What happened?
This also makes me think of Halloween Havoc '98, but that was WCW's fault because they only paid for 3.5 hours of pay-per-view time, and they went well past that 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Only because they decided to throw in some last-minute matches that did not need to be on that show. But this is a big snafu for AEW, big problem, and they need to look deeper into what went wrong. Tony Khan came out and said it was a technical error, but you can't just give a blanket statement like that, Tony. You've got to look deeper into it and then give us a straight up answer on what happened.
Yeah,
especially considering that those that are like outside of North America, like international fans, they were able to see the full broadcast. It had some issues and some glitches for sure.
Right.
But they were able to get the full broadcast, which means the full broadcast is out there, because that was something that ran through my mind. Collision is taped. Bubba down there, it was me. I hacked the feed.
Why did I read that like Vince McMahon?
Right?
It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
Collision is pre-taped. They do tape it and then they air it afterwards. So originally I had thought maybe in production something happened and that part of it was lost type of thing, right?
Right.
But that wasn't the case. It just ended. You know, Tony Khan throwing shade at WWE and, you know, throwing shade at The Rock and, you know, all of this stuff. And I guess The Rock, you know, used his powers, that'd be, let's say, and just kind of, you know, hey, turn it on, shut it on, turn it on, shut that off, turn this on. And maybe not, probably not. I can tell you it isn't. I am very thankful, though, that they were able to show the Mongo McMichael Memorial before it went to the commercial break and then was gone.
Yeah. And that,
so at least there's a positive.
Yeah, and I got to say that tribute was really well done. They had Mongo's wife, or widow, I should say. Ric Flair was there. So was the Man of 1,000 Holds. Dean Malenko was out there. Very well put together. And Tony was the one who was Tony Schiavone was the one who was doing all the hosting for that segment.
Yeah.
Very well put together. I liked what they had done.
Oh yeah, me too.
But this is where Tony needs to go. Tony Khan needs to go into his production team and just fine tune what had happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Needs to. I mean, this stuff happens, okay? Like, we all know this stuff happens. It sucks.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's television. It's electronics. It's television. It happens, blah, 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 whatever.
I can't tell you how many times working in film with the projects I did in college, how many times I've lost shots that I made, that I've done, and or scenes that I've recorded. I can't tell you how many times that's actually happened. So
right.
Yeah. What do you guys do on September 20th? Nobody
No
knows?
idea.
I'm hoping to make a trip to Southern Ontario.
You think so? You think you might want to go
Maybe.
down to catch some AEW wrestling?
Okay, why not?
AEW has announced that they are moving All Out from their original location to Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And we at the Scotiabank Arena. It's the first time that AEW has been back to the arena since Forbidden Door 23, I believe it was.
Yeah. The inaugural Forbidden Door.
Yes.
They use Scotiabank for that? I thought that was at the Coca-Cola Coliseum.
No, to my understanding, it was Scotiabank.
It was
Okay.
Scotiabank.
Yeah.
They use Coca-Cola Coliseum for Dynamite.
Yes.
Oh, I know that.
They did. Yeah. That they have for sure. Bub is asking when tickets go on sale. They're going to go on sale June the 2nd at 10 a.m. Eastern via AEWTix.com, TIX.com. You can try Ticketmaster, though. And fans hoping to maybe gain access to a pre-sale.
Yeah.
You can actually go and register with that at like allelitewrestling.com/AEW-insider. So that's that. Pre-sale is going to start May 28th at 10 a.m. and end on June 1st at 10 p.m. And then Live Insider pre-sale, same thing. The 28th at 10 a.m. till June 1st at 10 p.m. Yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can get pre-sale.
Now,
I'm intrigued with this, and the one thing that makes me happy about this is that All In and All Out aren't going to be a week apart for once.
True.
You took the words right out of my mouth, because that's exactly where I was about to go, because I didn't get a chance to read the full article, and we're used to having just that week or two gap between All In and All Out.
We're getting 2 months between the two.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that. I'm tremendously excited for this. One of the things I've been thinking about as far as AEW goes is their ticket sales in the States have not been the greatest. So we will flat out admit that, but their international sales have been phenomenal.
Yep.
So I'm thinking AEW needs to do two things. They need to move to smaller arenas in the States, which is what the WWF did in the mid-90s, but look at the international markets and start maybe focusing on putting events there if they want to start gaining back that American audience, because that's what WWF did in the mid-90s, and it worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm tremendously excited. I want to go to this solely because the only pay-per-views I've ever been to have been WWE events. I wouldn't mind going to an AEW show because we know someone who's gone to them and has said they've had a fun time, and that's Chris Parrish has gone to a couple of AEW shows.
Right.
I did 2 whole AEW cruises.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you had a blast at both of them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was part of history. I was part of the very first AEW broadcast on television to ever happen from a cruise ship. I was there.
You were. And you were there for the first ever AEW Tag Team Championship title change.
Yes, I was. Oh, Bubba's saying, never been to a live show, so front row, here I come. Maybe. Check it out anyways. Go and see, see if you can figure out how much tickets are. And then maybe we can go from there and we can talk. Talking about front row seats, I gotta throw this out here for us all. I don't have a graphic for this one right now. I'm just going to talk about it. I'll leave the AEW graphic up because it has to do with someone from AEW. Top of the world. Front row seat. 29,032 feet. Darby Allin reached the summit of the mountain known as Mount Everest. Now, I don't know if he did a backflip, a kickflip, if he did anything at that elevation, but I do have information saying that he did do a kickflip at 20,958 feet on his skateboard. He did a kickflip, the tallest kickflip in the world, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The highest kickflip in the world ever that has been done. This makes me question, is there anything that Darby Allin can't do besides maybe birth a child?
I don't know.
I mean, go ahead, OMB.
Kudos to him. I mean, this episode has been full of records and such positivity. Like, way to go. This guy is one of the 4 pillars of AEW. And I know that this journey got delayed because of a broken foot a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to go out and achieve this is remarkable. This is incredible. Props to you, Darby Allin. Keep it going.
Yeah.
I mean, to harken back to your question, Carl, to me, it's getting to a point where it's like, Darby Allin's going to climb Mount Everest. And when I saw this news like months ago that he was going to do this, I'm like, he's going to do it. There's no question.
Right.
He's going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and he did.
And let's not forget, he's not the only wrestler to have climbed Mount Everest. JBL also has done it too.
Yes.
But, I mean, it takes incredible strength, both mentally and physically, to climb that mountain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, kudos to Darby for doing that. That's only something that I could only wish I could do, honestly.
Right? I mean, we get maybe a quarter of the way up before we're like, nope, I'm gassed. I have to turn back and slide down the hill.
And you know what? When JBL did that, I'm like, can he really do that? Because he was considerably older than what Darby Allin is right now when he did it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But
I mean, everybody's got a boundary.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right?
If Darby Allin becomes the next man to jump back to the earth from space, I'd be like, yep, I know he's going to do it.
Right. And he set that bar high. He definitely has. And he found that boundary of where he needs to be. And there it is for the world to see. Now, there is somebody else that has set some boundaries as well that we're going to talk about here. But before that, I want everybody to check out my good friend, RBV, saying good evening, Turnbuckle crew from the HMG Army, the Hameen Media Group Army. If you guys have not seen anything that happens at the Hameen Media Group, go check it out. 100,000,000,000% do it. Bin Hameen, I'm going to say this, is an amazing guy. I love you. Okay, but don't tell him I said that, okay? Because it's Bin Hameen. Please don't tell him I said that. Go and check them out. 100% for sure. RBV has been a good friend of mine for many years, and I thank God every day that I have such an amazing amount of friends in the business. And Richard Bronson Vickery there, RBV Eats. Okay, hashtag RBV Eats. Look that hashtag up. He's a foodie. I'm a foodie. We like food. And that's one way that we bonded. Love you, brother. Thank you. Boundaries have been set during meet and greets, interactions, signings, stuff like that. Unfortunately, this person is going to have to stick to just handshakes from now on. Saraya, or known as Paige within the WWE, I will say, and use the verbiage, was victimized.
Yes.
100%. This was a purely disgusting act on the part of this fan who tried to kiss her at a meet and greet. How many times? Yeah, on the mouth. How many times do we have to say it, ladies and gentlemen? Wrestlers are people too.
This is flat out sexual assault. Flat out.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't want the kiss. The fan's just lucky that he wasn't able to get the kiss in because she ducked out of the way. But still, it's sexual assault. Even if you attempt it, it's attempted sexual assault.
Yeah.
There should be fucking. Sorry, I didn't mean to drop the F-bomb, but there should be charges laid here. Bottom line.
So she puts a post out onto X. It says, "Crazy, I have to say this, but if you come to my signings, please don't try to kiss me anywhere, especially on my mouth." He wasn't able to because I moved. She did put out another video afterwards, and in this video, she says, "I'm a hugger. I've always been a hugger when it comes to my fans. But going forward, I would love it if we just stick to handshakes just to be safer and to have a little bit of a boundary. We shouldn't have to worry about that kind of stuff." And I agree. She's so right. She does not nobody, whether it's a female, whether it is a male, I don't care what type of a superstar you are, none of them deserve that type of treatment. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I'm 100% behind Saraya on this. For sure, I am.
We all are.
Yeah, it's yeah. Bub is saying this is sad. It definitely is. It's sad that people think that they can do something like that.
And it only takes one person to ruin it for everybody,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you take a look at what Sonya Deville had to go through with her stalker and attempted kidnapping. You look at what these wrestlers go through at the airports. They're happy to take a photo, whatever, but if you're coming up with 30 or 40 different items to get autographed just so you can sell them on eBay, no, this was too far. Again, I'm really surprised that Saraya didn't just clock him.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, this is why I greatly appreciate there's that one video that went around that's going around where it was Rhea Ripley. She was at the airport. She was answering questions, talking to fans or whatever. And you see Kevin Owens coming up behind her and ask her, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley calmly replies, "Yeah, I'm fine." Because the fans that were actually with her were really cool,
Right. Yeah. You have lots that are definitely respectful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it should be. They're there for you, not for you to molest them.
Yep, that's it, Carl. July 10th, I'm going to go kiss Hernandez.
Okay. If that's what good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Now I have to make that show just to watch him border toss you.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, we have a number of different shows that we do here with Turnbuckle Studios. So before we get to our final segment of the night, here's where you can find us and what we do.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we got total non-stop action with Brace for Impact at 8 p.m. Friday we game again with Unleashed, the Jessica Wilde story at 7 p.m. Following the game, join us for the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
And with that, you can go and find us at turnbucklestudios.org, turnbucklestudios.org. While you are there, you can click on any of the shows that you see in the listing, and it will take you right to the latest episode that has been given to me to upload to the website. So go and check out turnbucklestudios.org. And that now brings us to the segment of the night that we like to call our Showstopper segment.
On his feet. Oh my God in heaven!
As you can see from the graphic, sharing is caring. And yes, it's a picture of Natty. It's a picture of Natalya or Natty Neidhart. Whatever it is that you want to call her, I call her a genuine superstar. As not only is she under contract with the WWE, but she also, during WrestleMania weekend, went and worked for GCW. And just last weekend, as you see on the graphic on the screen, had a matchup with Kenzie Page in the National Wrestling Alliance. This is huge and unprecedented, especially for what we know and understand from the WWE, as this is something that would never have happened before, where we see a wrestler going and wrestling and working for another company, technically under a different name. Because we have had times where superstars have gone and done an independent show, but they've gone there as their WWE persona.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the case. She's been going to these events as Natty Neidhart. How do you guys feel about this?
I am 100% for it. I love it. We have seen this start to pick up over the last couple of years, particularly with Bloodsport, as we have seen, even though they were under, as you alluded to, the WWE name, Pete Dunne, Shayna Baszler, Killer Cross this year went and did GCW. We've seen Omos go to Japan, Shinsuke Nakamura go back to Japan to do the Great Muta retirement tour.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just fantastic to let Natty, Natalya, however you want to refer to her, break the mold, so to speak, and be able to do this stuff. Incredible.
Yeah, this is another way that we talked about wrestlers who get released to go out and get a little bit more seasoning before coming back. This is another way that while you're still employed by the WWE, to go around and get that little bit of seasoning, to go back to your roots, as it were, with Natty, who spent a great deal of time working in the independents before coming to the WWE, to just go back to your roots and get that seasoning to even rekindle that passion in pro wrestling, which I know Natty has never ever lost that passion. This is just another way for WWE right now to reach out to all these other promotions and build these strong relationships, whether it's with the NWA or Josh Barnett or even TNA right now. This is just that forbidden door that we've talked about. That forbidden door, forget it being kicked down. It doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I've seen in a clip of an interview with Natty, Billy Corgan called her. She went to Hunter and asked, and Hunter called Billy Corgan, and they had a chat with no ill will. And this isn't even, as we've seen before, a talent exchange where, you know, like we saw years ago with Ric Flair coming for the Four Horsemen induction.
Yeah.
The WWE had to send somebody back for Sting's TNA Hall of Fame induction.
Which was
This is-
Christian Cage they sent.
Yes, this is not a talent exchange. This was go and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And something tells me, because now that you've mentioned that meeting with Hunter that Natty had and Billy Corgan having the chat with Hunter, we all know how much of a heavy rock fan we'll say that Hunter is. So for him to like reach and talk to Billy Corgan, that probably made it just a hell of a lot easier for Hunter to do the talking, because I can guarantee you he more than likely was a Smashing Pumpkins fan growing up as well.
Yeah, it's very possible for sure. Yeah, definitely very possible. I'm just very happy about this, and I'm hoping that this really does open up lines of communication between not only the WWE, but all the other promotions as well, where they may call, hey, you know, your star there that you've got, we would love to work something with them and bring them in for a show, especially something like this where, you know, Natty came in and this was a championship match for her for the NWA Women's Championship against their champion, Kenzie Page. She's a veteran in the business. And
oh, yeah, she's been around the block.
yeah. So for her to be brought in, I think is great, not only for Natty, but also for these other companies as well. Bloodsport, maybe, you know, GCW Bloodsport, maybe really doesn't need, you know, a lot of the, you know, names that are there that are bigger names, because they're already established. They are perfectly established in my mind, really, I think. But like the NWA is still, I believe, in a rebuilding phase.
Yeah.
And with them still rebuilding, they could use something like this and the showcase on this.
100%. And I mean, you go back a couple of years and we had heard a lot of rumors. Oh, Triple H and Stephanie, now that they're out of WWE, are going to buy the NWA to compete. No, I think that was sort of the start of let's try and figure out a working relationship.
Yeah.
I think also that this is Hunter and Stephanie fixing a lot of pro wrestling relationships that the previous owner, will say, had burned, you know?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the first company he burned bridges with was the NWA.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm just very, very happy about this. She came out, her entrance music was Killing in the Name Of by Rage Against the Machine, an iconic track from them for an iconic wrestler, for an iconic performer such as Natalya, such as Natty Neidhart, as she is going by on other areas and other pages. I'm trying to figure out what the heck happened here for us.
Which by the way, a lot of people don't know this, but she used that song as her theme during her time on the Independents. Killing in the Name Of was her theme song. And the one thing that I like is that they did give her the Natty name, and it kind of harkens to what TNA is doing when they're lending their guys to the WWE. The WWE is allowing them to use their their TNA name. Like we have Elijah, who's been showing up on NXT. He's not showing up as Elias. He's showing up as Elijah.
Yes.
We've had Dolph Ziggler showing up as Nick Nemeth a couple of times already as well.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. So So yeah, we are seeing that. Natty did come out to Killing in the Name of from Rage Against the Machine as well at GCW.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love the fact that they are being more open.
Yeah, they definitely are. Which is beautiful, which is exactly what I think is needed in the world of professional wrestling. Now, if you guys are looking for some merchandise from any of the shows that happen here with Turnbuckle Studios, I'm constantly trying my best to get in and put new merchandise up there and removing old merchandise that no longer is needed anymore. But you can find merchandise at carlcarufel.redbubble.com. That's KARLKARUFEL.redbubble.com. While you're there, you can check it out, make a purchase. Not only does that purchase give you some sweet gear to wear, but it also comes back to us and helps us slight monetarily as well. And we really, really appreciate that. And again, if you're looking for where you can find anyone, including Mr. Chris Best or OMD and myself, go and check out our website at turnbucklestudios.org. There's a Meet the Team section right there. All you got to do is click on someone's picture. And for the three of us, it'll take you to our respective Linktree account. So you can go and check out turnbucklestudios.org. And you can, guys can find yourself to find where we are, to follow us, and just to be part of everything that we do. And if you like what you see from these video shows that we do with Turnbuckle Studios, check out StreamYard.com. That is where we are. We do have a code that we can share with you that will get you some cash off. Referral link is going straight to the comment section right now there for you. You can go take a look at that and get a $10 discount from us to you. Thank you, Mr. Chris Parrish, for allowing us the use of the StreamYard account. We love you. We appreciate you. And thank you to each and every one that have supported us along the way, whether it is those who have helped us with Canva to create some of our media, who have helped us with, websites, who have helped us with banners, who have helped us with absolutely anything. We thank you and we appreciate you all. For Chris Best, for OMD, and myself, Carl Carufel, thank you once again for joining us here tonight. Remember, everyone, the world's a scary place. Take care of each other.